Oh no, hold on, Bob. Hey, listen, I'm the governor, and I want all my tax cattle traced and tracked.
As more states work to reopen, knowing who has the coronavirus is going to be key. And one way to do that, it was something called contact tracing.
Contact tracing.
That's about tracking down anyone who may have come into contact with a person who has tested positive.
Good news is Mayor Michael Bloomberg has volunteered to help us develop and implement the tracing program.
It will take an army of people asking all the right questions.
Because we have to expand this number tenfold. You have weeks to get this up and running. Tracing operation.
And one of the most important steps we have to take to reopen the economy as safely as possible is to create a system of contact tracing.
Learning more today about how Maricopa County will try to slow the spread of COVID-19 through
Contact tracing.
Contact tracing is a way to identify people who may have been exposed to the virus but don't know it.
Explain how it will work and how you will convince people who enjoy their liberties to do this, to be part of the contact tracing program.
Contact tracing is our best hope for isolating the virus when it appears.
Testing or contact tracing.
Contact tracing really is a tool to be used for the reopening phase.
Federal and state governments are ready to trample even more of our freedoms with their army of so-called contact tracers. So this video is brought to you by the brand new, hot off the press design that you can get on any shirt, hoodie, or mug. Contact trace this. Let's be honest, contact tracing is a governmental euphemism to levy more control over we the people. They're not contact tracing, they're constitution trampling. And if we roll over and submit to this, we're going to get exactly what we deserve. The true spirit of liberty is resistance and rebellion to would-be psychopathic rulers. This design is available right now in the store, and your purchase helps this independent media channel stand up against mainstream and government nonsense and tyranny that's ravaging our world. If there were any illusory notions left in our brains that question whether this is the land of the free, home of the brave, hopefully those illusions and delusions have been soundly shattered as we see the advancement of revolution-level tyranny blanket our land. This isn't the land of the free, home of the brave. It hasn't been for a long, long time. Reality has interrupted a regularly scheduled delusion to remind us once again that this is the land of the fee and home of the slave. And the cycle of that reality will continue as long as we keep willingly laying down under the boots of tyrants who claim to be removing our rights for the public good. Shutting down the economy and penalizing folks who just want to work so they can support their families will never be for the public good. And it doesn't matter what humanitarian-sounding justification they use. Governments who say they're here to help and people who willingly open the door and let them in always ends in disaster, destruction, and death. Government is the preeminent death cult. One of the complaints that the Founding Fathers leveled against King George III in the Declaration of Independence was that, quote, he has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. That sound familiar? This country was founded on the idea that under most, if not all circumstances, government should just back off and leave us alone. But today, all you got to do is look around to realize that government at every level, federal, state, local, it doesn't matter, is with increasing regularity inserting itself into every aspect of our lives. They're in our boardrooms, bedrooms, our wallets, our medicine cabinets, our refrigerators. There's no area in our lives that lawmakers don't believe it is their business to regulate according to their morals, judgments, preferences, or whims. In one of my videos from yesterday, I introduced you to 77-year-old Carl Manke, who's been a barber in the state of Michigan for almost 60 years. Through this plandemic, he's been forced to seek a small business loan just to make it, and he couldn't get it. He tried to file for unemployment, and they didn't give it to him. He was backed in a corner and put into a position by his government, that's the government of Gretchen Whitmer there in Michigan, of either starving or breaking the fabricated law to open his business just so he can pay the light bill and put food on the table. Now the psychopaths in his government see him as the criminal just for opening his business and cutting hair. And to top it all off, the Michigan State Police, being the order followers they are, handed him a letter from the MBHSS stating that if he doesn't stop conducting business, a judge will issue a temporary restraining order on him, and if Carl refuses to comply, he'll be held in contempt of court. So here's what's really happening for all to see. The criminals in the state are initiating and issuing unjust, utterly evil threats of force against an innocent man who's being forced to comply, sit in his home, go broke, and starve to death. And that people can't see this is as infuriating as it is alarming. But the truly startling thing here is that while Carl has gotten nationwide attention, and a lot of that attention has been positive, there are just as many people who are not in government who are furious at this guy because they're drinking the mainstream Kool-Aid and believing everything mainstream media is telling them. Here's a quick interview from inside Carl's barbershop.
All right. I just want to know about the health protection order today. What is that? What does that mean? What did they tell you?
I really don't know what it means in a sense. They delivered that. I'm going to have my attorneys look it over. You know, I'm not an attorney, so for me to make some type of a judgment on it, I don't have a clue what it is. All I know, I know how to cut hair and I know how to write stories, but that's out of my lane, so I'll let those people handle all that.
What was your reaction when you saw the state police?
That's fine. I don't care. I mean, most of them are probably younger than my kids, so, it doesn't. I'm too old. I don't care about all this stuff, this nonsense. All I want to do is work. If they want to play their political games, I guess maybe that's what they want to do. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have any animosity towards the governor or towards the attorney general. Whatever they feel they have to do. I know that an awful lot of this stuff is politically driven. I mean, that's my assumption. And I don't think I'm too far off on this. It's gotten down to where I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and you're going to do what I tell you to do. And well, she's not my mother, not my mother at all. I send her all my love, and I'm sure her parents love her, and I will send all my love to the Attorney General, and I'm sure her parents love her too, But I don't have any animosity toward them. They're just doing what they do. It's just this kind of I've been through 14 presidents, 14 administrations. I was born under FDR. But this is the first time I've ever seen anything, like this. So I lead my life pretty much, the way I always have. I'm an American citizen. I took government in high school. I know pretty much what we are as people here at Culture. I've worked in this business for over 59 years, and I know human beings pretty well. And to say that a haircut isn't essential. You talk to a guy that drove up here from Livonia, or drove up here, called me from Queens, wondering how he could get here to get a haircut. This type of thing. For men, haircuts are essential. That's a fact. I've worked in this business long enough to know men. And for somebody in the government to decide what's essential and what isn't, from that standpoint, it's pretty silly. And besides, I don't see much difference between what I'm doing here and what they're doing in Kmart or Walmart or Walgreens. Everybody's wearing a mask, everybody's running around. I've got spaces here in my chairs, and I've got hand sanitizers, and I've got a sanitizer over here with ultraviolet, and wearing a mask. And yeah, so, all these things I'm within the guidelines of. So I feel it's kind of a discriminatory thing, to have me selected out, that I can't work, after I built this business over a period of 60 years, and I'm just not about to roll over on it. I'm just not. I need the income. It's the way I make my living.
What do you think you mean to this community? What have the people around here said?
Listen, you're going to bring me to, you're going to choke me up here, so. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. Yeah, this is. I thought I was going to be out here, you know, twisting in the wind by myself. Here's one of my beautiful daughters right here. So.
Okay, guys, I'm going to leave all of Carl's links, including his GoFundMe page, in the description and in the pinned comment. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, share them with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel, don't forget to grab a hard-hitting shirt, hoodie, or mug from the store. Your purchase helps me produce more content. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.
Deaf and dumb thespians take the silent stages. With their cobweb throats, they can't sing any notes, so the audience begins dispersing. The actors get pissed, they start cursing. They're tired of rehearsing. They're ready to do the damn show. They're ready to go. You know what I mean? Fuck the quarantine, fuck COVID-19, fuck a fucking vaccine. Social engineering at the center stage. About to go full circle when we turn the page. Miss Deborah Burks, you old bitch, putting COVIDs on obits and certificates, it's ridiculous.